Who first came up with Obamacare? The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, or the ACA, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, was developed to reform the health insurance industry in order to, number one, expand health insurance and Medicaid coverage so that people who were being denied coverage now would be able to get it. And number two, reduce the cost of health care both to the individual and to our society in general. Prior to the ACA, leaders and legislators had been trying for years either to, one, regulate health insurance so that it would actually do what it was supposed to do and protect people from gargantuan health care costs, or two, dump the insurance industry and replace it with a government-provided single-payer system. Despite hard work and great leadership to resolve the problem of coverage and cost, diverse interests seemed to block it at every turn. Most notable was the conservative Republican Heritage Foundation's proposal of the individual mandate, requiring everyone to have insurance and every insurance company to cover everyone, thus keeping and reforming the U.S. health insurance industry. Following this, an individual mandate program, sometimes called Obamacare, came into existence in the state of Massachusetts. These efforts were in contrast to the earlier efforts of liberal Democrat Ted Kennedy to have a single-payer, government-controlled, British-like system, or the centrist Democrat Clinton idea of employer-mandated health insurance. Reform legislation finally passed under the Obama administration, surprisingly leaving intact the insurance industry and following the individual mandate Republican idea. Well, for whatever reason, it met great Republican resistance. To make it happen, the president utilized some rather strong-armed methods and irritated the Republican opponents, even though the plan was originally their idea. Now, due to the politics of it all, we have in Washington something like a dysfunctional family, so polarized that each side cannot seem to be willing to listen or compromise on any issue. The ACA has its flaws and needs some work, but it is not just my opinion on this one. If we cannot find a way to reform the health insurance industry so as to provide coverage for all, rich or poor, and control costs for the individual and our society, then we could end up with a single-payer system, and that would have a huge challenge of its own. As this president retires and we vote for new leaders in Washington, may we look for people who are willing to concentrate on what would be best for the people and not so influenced by the politics of it all.